Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good morning. This is Shri here to get you the quick recap of the pre-quarterfinals of the Indian Wells tennis tournament going out in California. This is where the big guns separate themselves from the other players, and that seemed to be the story of the day. Let's start with the first one, the Novak Djokovic killer, Luca Nardi from Italy, who faced against the American Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul was really on point, really sharp, had a great serve going throughout the game. Luca Nardi was, he showed some glimpses of excellence, but Tommy Paul was definitely the better player. And Nardi's run, amazing run, a qualifier, a lucky loser, whatever you call it, run comes to an end in the pre-quarterfinals against Tommy Paul. And this was actually another run for veteran Monfils, much loved by the fans. He's always been an entertainer. He faced Rune, and Rune was, despite Monfils winning the first set at 6-3, Rune definitely was in the tiebreaker, especially in the tiebreaker. He definitely took on to a next level and defeated Monfils. And then the final set, it was pretty close. But I think it was just a matter of 1 or 2 points that Rune played much, much better than Monfils, and Monfils' run again came to an end. Like I said, he had an unbelievable run this year in the Indian Wells. And then Medvedev, clinical, again, Dimitrov never looked out of sorts, just almost like a backboard every time. Any shot that goes to him comes back, and just waits for the other guy to make the mistake. And Medvedev, very impressive. And he now goes to face Rune, who faced a match point in the second set against Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz won easily in the first set, 6-2. It was a back and forth affair with 4-all in the second set. 30-40, Rune was serving to stay in the match. Missed his first serve, actually, and the second serve could have easily been out, just clipped the line. And after a quick rally, Rune managed to save it. Then there was another couple more points that he had to play before he was able to tie it up at 5-all. And then once it went to the tiebreaker, Rune jumped all over Fritz, got to a 5-2 lead, and then never looked back, and then won it pretty convincingly. And in the third set, Rune was definitely the better player and won quite easily. I think that sets up a match with Medvedev, as I mentioned. Fritz, the 2022 champion, just had the game right in his hands, and then just let it slip away. On the women's side, Gauff was very impressive. I was talking about Gauff yesterday, that she was not, she's not to her usual self, and I think she was still trying to figure out maybe the courts, the opponents. But yesterday was a different story, completely dominant, 6-0, 6-2 against Mertens. And Coco Gauff really looks in prime shape for her run in the future majors as well. And the other person I was kind of talking about was Sakkari. I kind of talked about her in terms of the potential that she has. She played an amazing first set, got to watch a little bit of that. But then second set went Parry's way, but Sakkari bounced back to win a big third set. Big for her to go into quarterfinals in one of these top tournaments. It's a good sign for her. But the biggest story of the day yesterday, the women's side, was Emma Navarro, who beat Sabalenka in 3 sets. And Navarro, actually, this is, I believe, her third straight third set that she played in this tournament. And playing against world number 2 Sabalenka, she definitely, the first set, she looked really good. She definitely moved Sabalenka all around. I have a feeling that Sabalenka was, coming back. She had a big match. She had to save 4 match points in the couple of matches ago. But I give all credit to Navarro for, bouncing back in the third set after losing the second set. And that too convincingly. I mean, she didn't look, she was going to lose that. She quickly jumped to a 3-0 lead. And she converted all those break points that mattered, kept the pressure on Sabalenka, and I would say even shortened the points, and got a big victory for her. So really looking forward to her quarterfinal matches. Today, let's stay with the women. The big one we have is 2 Grand Slam winners, Swiatek and Wozniacki. That's going to be a big matchup. I think Wozniacki was kind of talking about how she was commentating on Swiatek's match some time back, and now she's playing against her in a quarterfinal match. And then we have the Sakkari-Navarro matchup today. Yuan playing against Goff, and then Kostic playing against Potapova. So looking forward to that as well. On the men's singles, great matchups today. You have Sinner playing at Lehechka earlier in the day, and then Tommy Paul playing against Rude. And I do think that this will be a great matchup. Both the players have great potential to rise into the, especially for Rude trying to get to the top 5, and Tommy Paul trying to get to the top 10. So big match for them, both of them. And then we already talked a little bit about the Medvedev-Rune match. I think to me, Medvedev is playing at a very high level, and I do think that Rune is just coming off a very tough match against Fritz. So I definitely give Medvedev the nod there. Zverev and Alcaraz, this is the one where I don't know which Alcaraz is going to show up against Zverev. The one that showed up against in the Australian Open, Zverev was so dominant in the first 2 sets, especially Alcaraz managed to get the third set back in Australian Open. But Zverev has been playing at a pretty good level. So let's see if he can continue that, go back-to-back against Alcaraz. And then, as I mentioned, Sinner playing against Lehechka. I definitely see Sinner moving through. Lehechka is a big, he hits the ball big. Let's see if he can contain the Sinner run that's been going on since the Australian Open, and even before that. So with that, we wrap up the pre-quarterfinal matches and a quarterfinal preview. Looking forward to coming back tomorrow and recapping the quarterfinal matchups and the potential semifinal preview. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.